Hello, Abdulaziz. So,
Hello.
well, you are applying to Vice President of HR. So, Abdulaziz, what attracted you to this position?
Well, in the beginning, I always kind of love to work with other people, and I find satisfaction in helping others. Even though I have kind of strong psychology background, I always have a passion to work in business environment, and being in HR field would enable me so. And for me, being HR vice president means being a big strategic partner, which means playing more a strategic role of the ongoing changes that help direct company's future. And actually being HRVP means being a big change agent of other or among other change agents. And actually, since the concept of change is ranked as first fear or fear number one, I have to make sure that all change agents, including me, are doing whatever it takes to facilitate and make the desired or the wanted change, which would be very difficult job to do, but I like to take challenges. So that's why basically I love or applied to this
I
position.
see. Okay, walk me through a situation when you handle a conflict between top management and employees. What was the situation? What did you do? And what was the final outcome?
Yeah, as you know, one of the most difficult conflict that could happen between senior or top management and employees is called conflict of interest. So I remember when I was working as an HR manager in Al Tamimi Group supermarket chain in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We had a situation that one of our employees was a relative to a supervisor who affected his job responsibilities and his pay and his promotions. And once other employees knew about this, they asked if whether to transfer this employee to another department, or just they should the management give them gives them promotions or more pay. So I mean, I kind of basically because they felt this employee was getting lots of promotions. So I was ordered to lead an investigation. So I found out that this employee had done really good job in terms of in terms of his responsibilities, in terms of initiatives, in terms of his duties. So that's why he basically got lots of promotions. But the problem was, employees didn't convince about that. They thought, they thought something, because of their relationship, because they are kind of relative to each other. So to end this conflict, I asked the employee if he would be willing to transfer to another department, so he would have a new supervisor. And the good thing, he agreed to do so, and
Good.
the problem was over.
That's great. Okay, when making a decision that affects other, either like inside or outside your work group, what method do you use to communicate that decision to other? Give me an example, like of a decision that you made and how you communicate it.
Yeah, well, it depends actually on the importance of the decision. So let's say I'm going to share with you an example that happened when I was working in Al Rajhi Bank in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as an HR director. I kind of started I had an employee who I started to notice him that he was kind of a little bit careless and disorganized. In other words, he would come to work a little bit late and always performed behind the schedule. So since we had very strict policy to prohibit to kind of prohibit basically these kind of behaviors. So I had to terminate him. So my method to communicate this decision to him, or to deliver this decision to him, I kind of basically set up meeting with him to inform him about the decision. So because it was sensitive matter, and it's kind of important thing. So I was kind of direct and objective when I told him that decision. I said nothing was personal. You are a good person, but it's gonna be good, or it's gonna be better for both the bank and for you. And I felt in the end, it's like there was kind of sort of understanding of that, which was a good thing.
That's great. I see what you did or what you use. This was to involve leading a strategic plan.
Yeah.
So, how did you plan that, and how can you do that, and what role would you play?
Yeah. Well, the strategic plan should establish a clear and understandable direction for the organization or an organization as it transforms toward the future state. So I would use model called LEAD. This model basically consists of 4 steps. The first step is called Learn, assess the organization to determine the current state, where are we now. And the second step is Envision, which means define the future with the goals and strategies to get there. Where are we going to? The third step is Act, create action plans. What we are going to do. And the third and the last step is Deliver. It's basically like converting action plans to project and measure results. Why, what, when, how, and who. So I would play a role of directing and leading this model, and by doing this, I'm pretty sure that my organization will have a well-organized strategic plan.
That's perfect. But you don't believe in the verbal. I see that, but do you believe in the non-verbal like communication when you tell the person?
Yeah, and in that situation, I would be very very direct, very objective.
That's
So
great.
I would use maybe
Yeah.
some people, they might kind of not recognize the non-verbal
Yeah.
communication. So I would be very direct. I will use the spoken language because it will be better and more objective, I
Yeah,
guess.
I see. Tell me about an experience you outreach or raised awareness of employees about matters such as safety, quality, and security. How did you do it? How effective was that, or was your approach? What difference did you see after doing the outreach?
Yeah, I remember when I was working in SABIC
Mm-hmm.
as an HR director. A decision was made by top management that every single employee, including the employer himself, had to be trained about safety in workplace. So our company could meet the governmental regulations.
Okay.
So I did kind of a little research about this, and I found an American organization called OSHA that its job just to make sure the workplace is safe and it's free of hazards. So I contacted them. They to kind of provide us programs, or maybe send us some trainers to train our employees.
Okay.
Indeed, they sent us some trainers. So yeah, those trainers came to our workplace through their program. Our workers attended to 10 and 30-hour classes delivered by those trainers. The 10-hour class was intended for for entry-level workers, and while the 30-hour class was more appropriate for workers whose job is more kind of responsible, and more safety responsibilities basically. So through this program. Through this program, OSHA helped to ensure our employee were more knowledgeable and educated about workplace about workplace hazards and their rights, and contributed to our nation's productivity. And as you know, I mean, I played my role here, and I asked those trainers to kind of test our workers' knowledge at the end of the program. And interestingly, we found out that our employees and the employer had pretty good understanding of workplace and safety in workplace.
Great. Okay, let's give me an example of situation when you pro a new policy or regulation that was very difficult, like to implement in your organization. How did you enforce it, and what were the outcome?
Yeah, well, the example I would say it's like it was like funnier more than difficult. I mean, when I was working in a company called Coffee Pot as an HR professional, I was asked to be a part of a team who was assigned to kind of write and implement a policy. The policy was internet use. So, like, establishing guidelines for employee access through the company technology system. So the funny part was we had some employees who were like, non-technology users. So because they basically don't know how to use it. So those people, when they kind of know about the policy, they kind of replied saying, well, you first should educate us or tell us about the technology, and you can control it as you want.
That's good.
So yeah, so indeed the HR department had a few sessions for those people to kind of train them or kind of educate them about technologies basics. So back to your question, we didn't have any problem in implementing the policy, and the outcome was every employee respected, because they know it was for security reasons, and it was for company grades good.
Great. Abdulaziz, you're leading employees to perform their duties and responsibility. What do you think is the key in establishing a solid working relationship with these individuals?
Yeah, well, in today's fast pace and challenging business environment, you have to build successful work relationships and interact with people in a positive way, so you can achieve your organization goals. I think, and actually I believe, that trust is the foundation of every single workable relationship. So when you trust your team or colleagues, you form a powerful bond that helps you work and communicate with others more effectively. So if you trust people that you work with, you can be open and honest about your thoughts, actions, and you don't have to waste time and energy watching your back. Another key I would say is mutual respect. When you respect the people that you work with, you value their inputs and their ideas, they're gonna value yours. Working together, you can develop solutions based on your collective insights and wisdom and creativity. And the final key, I would say, and more importantly, is to become aware about differences among people, and to be willing to accept those differences as positive force within your organization. And it always starts with you. When you do this, everybody is basically just gonna copy your behavior.
I see. Tell me about a time when you knew a law was broken in the process, like of selection and recruitment. What did you go about this situation, and what was the result of that?
Yeah, this happened when I was working in a Rajhi bank again. A job candidate was refused to get hired because she was basically a female. So when I knew about this, I kind of basically did the investigation. So I went to find out who was involved in making this decision, what exactly she was told, because it mattered, what was her reaction to the decision. So I found out that this woman actually was, had pretty good qualification, and she was really get fit for the position. So I thought it would be really good idea if I contacted her again, so we can both avoid any law breaking, and getting the position filled by her. But unfortunately, we kind of contacted her, but we couldn't. I mean, we couldn't reach her out. So the good thing came out of this thing, or of this lesson. We weren't suited, so we learned from it because it was a really hard lesson.
Okay, Abdulaziz, describe an initiative that you took to support your organization effectiveness. Why did you take it? What did you do, and what was the outcome?
Yeah, one initiative that I've done when I was working in a Tamimi group as an HR manager. I suggested an training initiative and training training program for employees. In the beginning of this training, I wasn't really sure about it because it could have been seen as a risk initiative. But because our company's culture encourage these kind of behaviors or these kind of ideas, it was kind of highly motivated, and it was kind of highly encouraged. So the whole company supported it, and as a result, employees were able to kind of step up and speak their creative mind, and which eventually supported the company's effectiveness.
Okay, Abdulaziz, thank you for coming and nice to see you.
Thank you.
So we will contact you soon to tell you like our final decision.
Thank
Thank
you.
you and good luck.
Thank you.